Hello, and welcome to What Am I Rolling? A twice-monthly RPG one-shot podcast, hosted by me, Fiona. This is part 2 of our Vurt one-shot, so make sure you've listened to the first part before continuing on with this episode. To briefly recap, Dirk, Tristen and I are playing a group of featherheads, Ewan, Nemo and Harriet, who are on a mission to find a brand new yellow Vurt feather hitting the streets of Manchester. This is Singland. After tracking down a couple of leads, hearing mixed reviews and even having a run-in with a rival gang, the team has secured the feather and are about to go on a trip of a lifetime. The main thing to remember is this. When determining the success or failure of any kind of action, the GM assigns a difficulty to the task on a scale of 1 to 10. A 1 is extremely simple, whilst a 10 represents a Herculean task beyond the means of most mortals. Once the GM has assigned this difficulty, the rest is up to the players. Players must apply their skills and experience, tools or other advantages, aid from one another, and other assets in order to reduce this difficulty. They can also focus a limited resource called effort to further lower the difficulty of actions really important to them. Once a player has reduced the difficulty as much as they are able to, they roll a d20. The target number they have to beat is equal to 3 times the difficulty set by the GM. And that's it. A massive thank you to our guest GM Rob for running Vurt for us. I know Rob from a couple of RPG streams that we both played in, and it was an absolute joy to have him run this game for us. Rob is one part of the Realm of Fire podcast, a podcast about hot Warhammer takes from 2 grown-ass middle-aged men. Their words, not mine. If you can handle scalding hot opinions on Warhammer 40k, Age of Sigmar Soulbound, Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, Dark Heresy, and many, many more games, this is the podcast for you. Listen to Realm of Fire podcast wherever you find podcasts. One last thing before we begin. Naturally, there are times in this one-shot where the players and myself, mostly myself, get the rules wrong or forget something plot-wise. Whilst we always endeavour to stick to the rules wherever possible, at the end of the day, we all make mistakes. And what matters most is that everyone enjoys themselves. So, with all that out of the way, let's get back to Vurt.
Okay, so at this point, you have your feather. This is Singland, and you are ready to experience this as the very cool featherheads that you are. I mentioned how to take a feather earlier with Namo. To take a feather as a group, one of you does that initially, and then you pass the feather to the next person, and they do it. And then you pass it to the next person, and they do it, all within 5 seconds of each other, because after 5 seconds, the feather begins to cream and lose all of its colour. So you have to quickly share out the feather. Marching order, who's going into the dream first, who's going second, who is going third.
But before we do that, can you just remind us what the things are about jacking out? So if we wanted to leave at any point,
Yes. If you want to leave at any point, it is a very difficult task, which I believe is like 7 or 8 or something. So it is possible, but you have to put effort in. It's difficult. You at any point you can say, I'm out and I want to jack out. It can cause damage. So be careful when you do it. And come on, you're not children. This isn't a blue. You'll be, you're tough people. You've done this before.
I just wanted to remind us what we're getting ourselves into here. So
yeah. If you go in like that, it's like acid. If you've already got that thought in your head when you go in, you're going to have a bad time.
I have been reading the reviews as well. I ignored the advice. I have been reading the reviews, and
I was going to say, is this a shared house? Because before we go in, I'd like to push that furniture against the doors and close all the shuttles, and also up an area that my unconscious body is going to be on. I'd like to put a blanket on the floor with a pillow.
Yeah, you basically, you do share this. You literally pay a bit of rent to someone. It's a room with just beanbags, just a floor of beanbags. Che Guevara poster on one side, Bob Marley on the other. Someone's left some incense on, so it's really cloyy in here. That other flatmate, who you don't really know is also there, but you haven't really talked to them. They're just there in the corner. But she pays her rent on time, so it's fine. But yeah, you get yourselves Vurt ready. You are used to this. Yeah, in you go. So, who's going first? Namo's going first. Who's going second?
I assume Ewan. Like, because obviously, if you give it to the dog, you've not seen how much stuff comes out of the dog.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I was thinking
as well.
I don't want to follow the dog.
You don't want the spit back or whatever it is of the dog. So yeah, Harriet is okay with that. Like,
yeah, you're like flavour.
Yeah.
So you take it, and you all go into a sort of black void where you're floating. The three of you all meet up in this void, and the next thing you know, your bodies are sort of being shaped into a seat, and you find yourself sat in a roller coaster buggy, a little 4-person one, but there's only 3 of you. And the roller coaster sets off out of a dark tunnel, and rather large text floats in front of you saying, "This is Singland." And the roller coaster comes out of the tunnel. Big red tracks over a beautiful, bucolic countryside scene. Green hills, rolling pastures, Georgian farmers, people smiling and waving at you as you go past. It is beautiful. It is very blue sky, blue sunlight. You can see the white cliffs of Dover to your left. To your right, you can see Ben Nevis. It is just this wonderful tour across parochial Britain. Everyone's smiling and laughing at you. Next thing, a pair of Spitfires fly past you, jinking in the air and saluting with their wings up and down. The pilots wave at you as they go past as well. They're off to give Jerry what for or whatever, but in a very happy way. And the roller coaster takes a slight bank and a turn, and you see a bandstand. And there's rock and roll bands. You've got Billy Fury is playing, and he's going like this. Shaky Stevens is there, swinging his hips and is clicking away. And 4 mop-top lads from Liverpool are strumming away on their skiffle guitars, singing songs. And you've just this wonderful music. It's very like, this is wonderful. The roller coaster comes down, and you're sort of now running parallel with an A road, big motorway next to you, highway for the listeners abroad, and a magical mystery tour van pulls up alongside you, and various hippies and walruses and cornflakes lean out and wave. And before you know it, you're heading towards Manchester. But Manchester you don't recognise. There are certain things that you notice. The old town hall is there, and a couple of the towers are there. The now much smaller towers in the mega city that it is. But, you recognise it a bit. And it's a shiny grey colour, looks beautiful. And the roller coaster goes in, follows the streets, becomes a little Death Star trenchy, going down, up and down through, and then turns sharply to the right. And you park in front of what you recognise now as the facade of the Free Trade Hall, which is a rather large building, now a historic relic, Victorian looking. And outside, you can see there's like a small sort of American guy with big hair playing a guitar, and it turns from acoustic to electric as he's playing it. And some guys just...
Judas!
Yeah.
Judas!
Yeah, I chimed in with you at this point, yeah.
Yeah, Harriet and you start to shout, Judas! This guy. On the other side, you see some Manchester PD in their sort of modern uniforms, but also with the conical hat, a big handlebar moustache. And they're like happily manhandling some suffragettes who are also happily protesting, but also, like smacking them with newspapers and stuff and stuff like that.
Like throwing rocks into the window, and the windows are smiling.
One of them's got a big canvas that she's like, like cutting down.
Amazing.
You see a couple of hats get knocked off, and you're ushered into the Free Trade Hall. Stepping into the Free Trade Hall, it is like one of the largest school halls you've ever been into. There is a stage at the end with 4 bored-looking boys, like 17-year-old, 18-year-old lads stood on it with instruments. And as you step in, you're each handed a warm cup of what you think is beer, but either Harriet, you get sort of like given it little like in a little bowl almost that you can push along with you, and it's like really thin and a bit watery. Ewan and Namo, you get a very brown drink with what looks like bits floating in it, and tickets that you didn't realise you had are taken and stamped, and you're ushered to the front of the hall towards the stage. What do you do?
Can I quickly ask, because I am a Vurt touched, like I'm a shadow man Vurt.
Yes.
Is there anything like different in here for me? Like, does something change? Or...
No, all that happens is occasionally facades drop and like what looks like, so those human policemen, when you see them, they look more like, have you ever played Day of the Tentacle? Okay, they're kind of like big tentacles wobbling in the air. That's what they look like to you, like giant anthropomorphic tentacles that bounce along. So occasionally you'll be like in the dream, but then you'll just have a moment where you're like, no, this is the Vurt. Like you're very aware you're in the Vurt. Harriet and Ewan, you're in a virtual reality acid trip now. This is reality. To you, Namo, just occasionally something like you'll be talking to someone and then they're a crab and then they're back to being a person and you're a bit like, oh yeah, this isn't real. So I'm going to give you an asset because you're Vurt touch to anything like awareness or perception, I think, because you're able to sort of keep your wits about you a little bit more, if that answers your question.
Well, yeah, that perfectly answers my question. Okay, I'm going to politely like take what I presume is my beer and give it to like a green. Just be like, here you go, just have mine. Like give it a sniff, do a, oh yeah, here you go.
Yeah, it smells remarkably of Newcastle. You've never been to Newcastle, but somehow it smells of it.
I'm guessing there's like seats or like a place.
There is a row of seats, and then there's a group of people stood in front of the stage, like a group of about 5 or 10 people, all just looking at the lads, and they're looking down at them.
The lads aren't doing anything?
They're just sort of chatting and fixing up their equipment, but it looks like they're ready to go. You get the impression they're waiting for you.
I think we're going to see the birth of something fantastic tonight. Harriet and Namo, just sit back.
Down in front, I say from my seat.
Do you know what's going to happen? Everybody's going to say they've been at this gig. Everybody.
But we see that not everyone's here.
No, at the moment it's very empty. It's just you, and you can make your way right to the front. And if you want, you can either stand or you can sit in the first row of chairs. What do you want to do?
I think we'll go straight to the front. We'll push aside the guy with red hair. Looks a bit like Charlie Drake. Move him out of the way.
Yeah, I will definitely follow these guys and then like obviously trying to look, but obviously too short. But I just like being here because I'm with my friends. Somehow,
despite the fact you are short, people keep making what you can see at all times. Like you're able to see, and eventually as you get to the front, the front lad sort of looks down and says, "Right, we're the Fuck Rifles, and we are ready to go." And they start just banging away on their instruments, and it is dreadful. It is really bad. They're like, "The king is a prick. Yeah, we don't like the king." And they're just going, and everyone starts pogoing up and down. Could you all make a mic check for me, please?
I'm going to turn to Namo and Harriet and say, "This is great."
Affirmative.
Affirmative.
I'm just going to like bite my lip and nod my head like a little bit like.
Can I ask a very stupid question? I've got jumping as a skill. Will that help me here?
Yes, I'm going to say that absolutely does come into it.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I'll use jumping, but nothing else on that. Straight 10.
Straight 10. Ewan?
I rolled an 8.
Okay, Namo?
I also have jumping.
Excellent.
I got a 3 though.
That's fine. It was an Edo, or it was only level 2, so you've actually just brought it down enough. You all managed to get in time with the pogoing so that when you're jumping, you're not getting stamped on, basically. And Harriet is on her back leg, sort of bouncing up and down. And this gig goes on, and the next thing you know, you're sort of being pushed, you realise. And you're being pushed, but you're going forward. And the next thing you find yourself, you're right at the front. And then looking back, there's like quadruple the amount of people that were here at the beginning. And they're people you recognise. Fast Eddie, Mikey, Elomar, Mikey, Fingy's here with the quiff. He's bouncing away in the corner, but he's not paying any attention. But they're also people you haven't encountered recently. Just everyone you've ever known appears to be here. And it's just filling and filling and filling. And you realise you're kind of trapped in here for the moment, but everyone is between here and then a big green arrow appears in the sky and turns 180 degrees and points back out. You have got to get out of this place. If you want to escape this feather and complete it, that's your first goal. You need to leave this room. Meanwhile, the entirety of Manchester is behind you.
Amazing.
What's the plan?
Is the music still playing?
Yeah. And you cannot tell the difference between one song and the next. It's just free chords.
Ewan can.
Oh, this is going to go really bad. Like, can I climb on the stage and just, like, unplug the amp?
Do it. Yeah. So you pull yourself up on the stage, and everyone's like, ah! The shower of beer hits you, like, both in celebration and protest. The foot rifles are in the middle of, like, vacation in Thailand. What do you want to do when you're up on? You're like, hey! Like that. There's a man dressed as a postman just jumping up and down next to you as well.
If like the guitarist or anyone, like if there's like a plug, like a music amp that's like projecting it, I just want to like give it a pull, like kind of bring the music down.
All right, Dad. You unplug the bassist. He doesn't notice. No one notices. He's still going, but he's not noticed. But you've unplugged him. So Namo, you are on the stage covered in beer. Ewan, what are you going to do?
So the sound just dropped now, is it?
Not really, no. No one noticed the bass to begin with. The bass has dropped a little bit. So let's say, actually, go on then. Let's say that with the bass dropping, the pogoing has slowed kind of unnaturally a little bit. People are now sort of jumping a bit slower up and down without the bass going.
Okay, I'm going to program a blurb fly.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get it to project some prog, by a band called No, and it's going to. This stuff will never replace it, and it'll just go a load of noodling and long bass lines, and see if it kind of distracts people, so we can try and get out of it.
Right, so you're going to do that, and what are you going to try and send it into the amps or something?
Yes, to blast it out.
Make me a check then, please, on that. That's intellect, and you are a monster. You are an absolute monster.
That's pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah, I've rolled a 12.
Yeah, that's enough. Yeah, you do it, and the sound starts going from dun to dun to dun to dun to.
The time signature.
And everyone starts jumping. Actually, people then start jumping out of sequence. They're like, hang on. Then there's a drum solo. Harriet, what are you going to do?
Right. Okay. So there's been two very different ways of attacking this, whereas obviously
I've enjoyed it,
which is great, and I'm just like, what? I think back to other gigs I have been to in sort of feathers like this, and I remember the one time Ewan did this when we were first together, and he's never done it since. I'm like, brilliant, I know exactly what to do. So I too will sort of leap onto the stage, turn around, and I'd be like, catch me and put me to the back, and try and crowd surf to the back.
Okay, excellent. Speed check to get your landing and get caught.
I will use my edge in that. So get rid of 2. Would you say jumping helps here? As I leap.
Yes, I'll give you jumping.
Thank you. All right. It's a straight 10.
Yeah. So you boing backwards, and then you are caught, and you start naturally going backwards. Your little legs going because you're moving, but you're not. So your little legs are going as you're carried backwards. And Ewan and Namo, from where you are on stage, you can see Harriet disappearing off into the sunset. And it's like imagine like the biggest type of festival crowd has somehow got in this room, and it's just going on to a horizon. What are you two going to do? At this point, the crowd's getting restless and booing. The bass guitar is cutting in and out, and also prog rock is kind of filtering in. So there'll be a few chords, and then there'll be like some rush or something, and it all getting a bit weird. And the crowd are both booing and elated. They're not quite sure what to do. What is Ewan and Namo's plan at this point, with Harriet going,
this is so much fun?
I think we need to tell them the concert's over and just get them to leave.
You're going to grab the mic and do that?
Get out.
Yeah, can I take the mic from the lead singer?
Do what you want. It's a roleplay game.
I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna give it like a tap, and move it too close. So a little bit. And I'm going to say we're moving the concert to outside where there's working equipment. There's been a technical error. We apologize for the inconvenience. There will be a round on the house outside. If everyone could please just leave in a single file line.
Slowly but carefully.
Slowly but carefully.
I like that. I like that. Persuade check for me, please.
Okay, can I put effort in?
You absolutely can. Intellect.
The whole of Manchester.
I'm going to let you know I'm trained in this as well.
Being a roadie?
In persuasion.
Okay, right, yeah.
So I get a 16 with my effort and my skill.
Yeah, perfect. Absolutely. You're able to, I mean, at this point, no one knows what's going on anyway. It's a 70s gig, so no one could hear anything to begin with, and the far right have turned up and started throwing punches. So basically, you are able to persuade the entirety of Manchester that the gig is over, and they file out as fast as they can. Harriet, you are dropped like a shitty brick onto the floor as they leave, and 1,000 bands are spawned as people leave. The only casualty was that ginger guy who is face down on the floor, having been trampled, who claimed that he fell from the stars. And as you head to the back of the room, you see the exit now, and it's changed. No longer is it the Victorian wooden door that you entered. It's now solid steel, surrounded by concrete with yellow and black hazard stripes painted in an archway. And in front of you is almost like a curtain that's moving. And Namo, you can see it is like it's a teleport, basically. You'll be going to the next bit. But to Harriet and Ewan, it is a curtain just billowing in the wind a little bit.
Oh, wow, guys, look, a regular curtain that we all see.
My favorite.
Favorite, too.
Who's going first?
I'd wait for the other two to catch up for sure. Like,
right, yeah.
I don't want them to miss out.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you're here. I thought you left me.
Like, no, Harriet, never. I'm sorry you got dropped, and I give like a head pat.
This is acceptable.
Okay, so you step through. Namo goes through, disappears into the Vurt. Harriet and Ewan following on.
I sort of wait for Ewan to go and then follow straight behind.
Yeah, so Ewan will walk over. You might accidentally step on the guy with ginger hair as he's walking over and go through.
Just give him a kick on the way. Yeah. That's for Fairground of Love or whatever it's called. And step through. Here on the What Am I Rolling podcast, we do not condone violence against members of Simply Red. As you step through, you are now met almost a parallel to the opening at Slivey Toad, a club scene. Massive mega club. Lights are going, lights are flying around, giving everyone headaches, but no one wants to admit it. Crowds and crowds of sweaty young men and women and dogs and robots and shadows are all dancing away, all at their own tune. And ahead of you, right above, right at the other side, is a DJ booth. Now, when you step through the doorway, you are not holding anything. At this point, however, you all suddenly are in possession of a rather large vinyl record each, which says on it, in an Alice in Wonderland way, "Play me." Each you're holding it, they are bright yellow. Whenever you find a thing in the Vurt that's the same colour of the feather, that's usually a key to get to experiencing and completing the feather. Oh. So a large yellow disc that says, "Play me." And on the other side is a rather large DJ booth with two speakers either side, which are sort of going at 90 degrees, turning slowly, almost like sentry machine guns, approaching guarding the approach towards the DJ booth. What do you want to do? The music is banging.
I will stealth and start moving like through the crowd, like trying to be sneaky about it. Maybe like doing an army crawl on the sticky floor if that's how I avoid people. Like that's what I'm going to do.
Yes, excellent. Do me a stealth check then, please. Yeah, absolutely.
I got an 8, but I have the stealth skill.
Okay, so you've brought it down a level. Yeah, no problem then. Yeah, you're able to start crawling through. It's pretty sweaty down there, to be honest. Not as much sticky beer as you'd think, more sweat than anything else, and dropped water bottles. So you're getting pretty soaked as you go, but you're making progress. Harriet and Ewan, you see Namo disappear, like there's dry ice blowing in your faces, so Namo just disappears into the press. On the way, there's probably a couple of, you can either push through the dance floor like Namo's doing, you could probably go by the bar. There's no one really at the bar, but you're very much out of the way, or you could go to the cloakroom, which has an incredibly long queue and an incredibly bored and beautiful shadow girl behind the counter at the cloakroom, but she is not doing any cloakrooming. She's just sat there.
And just so I understand, what's stopping us going into the booth? Can we just walk in there?
You probably could. Yeah. You might just need to press your way past a few people. But at the moment, it looks quite clear. Basically, it looks like you could just start walking towards.
Well, let's do that. I'll do get a couple of glow sticks out of blurb fly and walk through the middle of it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Okay, so Harriet and Ewan, as you and Namo, you see this from your position. You walk up and you're like, yeah, dun, dun, dun. This ginger guy with glow sticks tied in his hair is like dancing around like that. But as you make a step onto the stairway going up to the DJ booth, the speaker at the top sort of turns and blasts a sonic wave at you. Could you both make might defense checks for me, please? Yeah, Namo, you see that happen.
An 8 for Harriet. Not good.
No. And Ewan?
I got a 4.
You both take 3 might damage, please, as you're blasted back into the crowd, landing next to Namo, because it's easier to keep the party together. The 3 of you are now on the floor, 2 of you on your back. Namo, you're like watching. So yeah, you've got an issue here, those speakers.
Are you guys okay?
This is amazing!
Harriet, I'm hiding.
What?
I'm hiding.
I can see you.
No, I know you can see me. It's because I'm letting you see me. I need you to keep your voice down.
Oh, Ewan, he's hiding. Pointing literally.
I'm going to look to see if there's any control boxes for these speakers or what's controlling it.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can see across the dance floor there are 2 rather large boxes, those big black boxes that you see at gigs. You're never quite sure what they are. They're there, and the panel, and there's a robo man stood there, burnt fingers from all the electricals, like working away, like playing them. Looks like that's the electrics. However, there is a rather large shadow robo stood next to him, looking out, just sort of like taking an eye on the crowd.
You two distract him whilst I go to work on the electrics.
Distract. Yes. Can do. Run.
Okay. How are you two going to do that then? So you've got the robo who's actually working on the electrics. He's got his back to you, and then there's the shadow robo who is watching out effectively.
Namo can stop me at any point, but I run up to the shadow person and go, "Hello, I like you. I'm a distraction."
I'm going to walk beside Harriet and start talking to the one wiring and say, as my friend distracts your friend, me and you can get to know each other. Hey, how are you doing?
Okay, excellent. Harriet, could you make a social interaction check? I think this would be.
Right. Sure. I don't have that. I assume that's is that an intellect?
Intellect, yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense because I don't have that much intellect. All right. I have to be straight. That's a 13.
Okay, that's pretty good. No, that's pretty good. And robo to robo, that's quite sensitive. The robo, shadow robo, kneels down and he sort of puts his hand on your head in a really painful like smack, and then does that pull back where like the eyes pop out, and it's like, "Nice to meet you, distraction." And strokes your head back.
You're funny. I like you.
Take 1 might damage from the rough petting.
Yeah. No heavy petting. I do not approve of this.
Namo, A social interaction, please. Again, if you're chatting up the robo.
Got 19.
Not only are you incredibly good at chatting people up, you've picked the guy who's never had a girlfriend or boyfriend in the place, and they immediately sort of drop what they're doing, like, oh yeah, and like start like patting their robot self down. Yeah, good. I just need to go get a spanner. Okay, and they shuffle off very quickly. You unfortunately were too flirtatious with them and scared them.
Amazing.
That's not unfortunate. Yeah.
Classic. What a power move.
Yeah, understand. Ewan, the way is clear.
Okay, so the way's clear. I'm going to try and look like I should be there. So I have this ability to spin an identity. So I'm going to look like I'm a robo man who is meant to be there. And so I'm going to get out my bobby pin.
Okay.
So I've got this Kirby grip.
Yes.
And I'm going to use that as a cipher to shut down the, not the speakers, but their ability to move.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely perfect. Good move. Because if you turn the music off, bloody hell. Yes, you do. You manage to time it, and at the last second, you see them go, whoop, and that's when you hit the pin, and they fix in place, blasting out the sound waves away from the stairs.
Good work, team.
Good teamwork. Come on, let's get in there.
Wait, before we go, there's something I gotta do. And I motion them to come with me, and I go to the bar, and I just grab some Kleenex and start wiping off my clothes. The ground was really gross.
Yeah, it was horrible down there.
It was horrible. This is the spawn of nightmares. Do you guys remember the last yellow we took, the nightclubs of the 80s? Worse than that.
I nearly died. Yes.
I was almost shanked by a new romantic. Okay, you make your way up the stairs to the DJ booth. In the DJ booth is a guy who's proper 90s, cat backwards, doing it all. To you, Namo, all you see is basically an octopus, with all of its arms flipping each of the records and stuff. But this guy's going fast and fast. And he's like, hey, what you want? What you want to play?
Can you play this, please? And I'll just pass him the vinyl.
Yeah, bangs it on. This is good. Let's go. And the record hits, and just this wonderful sound hits you. The sound, you hear the color yellow, and then it's the morning. The scene fades. It's 5 a.m. You step out of a nightclub. You smell of smoke because it's the 90s still. You are drenched in sweat and beer. The light is kind of low. The sun's come up, so it's right in your eyes. So it's a real headache, right headache giver. You can smell diesel for some reason. Feel a bit sick. You haven't eaten. You fancy chips. You're not sure. Your train's in 2 hours. But you're not sure as you step out. And that's when you notice it. You notice about 4 things, really. 1, this seems like the world turned upside down. Everything seems arse over tit. The buildings have their doors up high, windows low. There are cats chasing dogs, rats chasing cats, the police being chased by packs of robots and dogmen. Manchester United are a good football team, and you have bits of yourself floating up towards the sky. Literally, peels of flesh are coming off you. The tiny strips of skin are going up into the sky. And as you look up to see where they're going, you see in front of you an enormous glass and steel tower, this huge thing that you recognize actually from current Vurt. But in Vurtchester, this is the tallest tower around, called the Beef Corp Tower. And it is this enormous glass and steel structure with a giant pair of red eyes on the front, kind of like the eyes of Sauron if they were drawn on MS Paint. And they're looking quite aggressively in various directions. And above that is a giant yellow moon, just sort of above the tower, twisting melon-like, a big twisting melon above the moon, bright yellow, and everything is telling you you need to get up there, and that's how you get out of this place. Could you all take a might damage, please? Or speed, it's your choice. This is a physical damage because your skin and yourself are floating away. If this was Nightmare, I would say warning team at this point.
So we take that out of the pool with the damage?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, let's take it out. Yeah. So it's both your effort and your hit points, effectively.
Yeah, you can see Harriet sort of whimpering, going, bad trip, a warning.
So how much damage are we taking, sorry, Bob?
Just one.
Just one?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I have a chance to just have a rest and do a recovery roll? Because I've taken quite a bit of damage on mine.
Absolutely. So, yeah, you've got time now. You can take the action one, you can take the 10-minute one, because actually you're just going to be wandering towards the tower without having to do anything particularly dangerous. If you want, you can wait for the hour one, but you will take might damage in that time.
I'll take the 10-minute one, if that's okay, if we're wandering. And that... Does that restore all my pools?
You pick a pool and you roll a d6 and +1 to it, and that's how many points you get back. Okay, so you amble your way down Whitworth Street towards the Beef Corp Tower. And when you get there, as I say, it's this giant thing, and it has like almost doodly arms and eyes coming out of it. And you know you've got to get in at the bottom and get out at the top. So, stepping through, bing, you're in a hotel lobby. It's kind of nice. It's a bit dated. There's a telly on with CBBC, which is the children's television programs on. There's a couple of staff. There's a lift, which, is probably quite an important thing. And there are 2 security guards stood in front of it. And they are almost like computer game in how they are acting. They are stood still, but sort of resting, like they're bobbing up and down slightly. And then occasionally one will make a sort of a move, like scratch their neck, put their arms down. A couple of beats later, scratch their neck in the same place. But yeah, they're there. They're guarding.
Yeah, yawning, essentially.
Yes, yeah. But they are guarding, and that's all they're doing. What's the plan?
So if this was a computer game, I think you would be in a corner looking at the ceiling, just stuck, trying to work out how to get out of it.
Spinning round and round.
It's like, no. It's like hitting the wall.
You can't do that.
How do we get up there, team?
That doesn't go there. No. I can do distraction force again, if that is helpful.
It worked last time.
Okay. I brush over. Hello.
Could you make a speed defense check, please?
Oh
no.
Oh, that's an 8.
Oh no. Unfortunately, as you approach within a particularly frontal cone of this guy, he flashes red and a shot rings out. You hear a... you are lucky that it's just a ricochet, but you do take 2 might damage. Do you have any armor, by the way? I think you as a robot.
I do have. I have a light armor jacket. It's +2 armor.
Just is that 1 or 2 armor?
+2 armor. It says on.
Oh, fantastic! Right, so the ricochet hits and then deflects off your metally robo self, but you feel like that was a warning shot.
That's not nice.
It's not nice. They're not. I'm not doing this as a combat though. They just opened fire as soon as you got close.
Okay, cool.
Okay, are you okay, Harriet?
Ego bruised, but I'll be okay. How close was I to the guards? Is it like within a couple of yards or whatever?
Yeah. Let's say a couple of meters.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to see how far away I was.
Yeah, a couple of meters, let's say, just to mix up the units of measurement.
So Harriet, you can't distract him. Should we take the stairs?
Stairs? Just like got little legs. Only if you carry me.
I'm gonna approach one of the staff members around.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say, "Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. I forgot my my feather phone upstairs and my keys. And my family's expecting me. It's our Christmas vacation. Like, it's kind of a big deal. Was there any way that you could, just talk to those guys to me? I would, but I'm a shy individual."
Okay, this is another persuade check because I like this. Yes.
This is so sweet.
will put effort into it because I just healed up my effort points. And let's roll. Set this back to a D20 and 4.
Unfortunately, you happen to have picked maybe one of the most unhelpful staff members available. They simply say, "Hello, welcome to the Holton Hotel at Beef Court Tower. How may I help you?" And then when you ask for help, they simply say, "And enjoy your stay."
Excuse me, can I speak to a manager, please?
And enjoy your stay.
Well, we're out of ideas. Ewan.
Stairs?
Okay. Ewan will get out his pistol. Okay.
Yeah.
This conversation was getting boring anyway, and I'll just take a shot at one of the guys there.
Roll the speed attack.
Fine, I'll take the stairs.
When in Doom.
Yeah.
When in Doom. Yeah.
Okay. I've rolled a 13.
That's a hit. What type of gun have you got?
It's an antique .22, so it does 4 damage.
Fantastic. Yeah, you just level it, bang, hit one of those guys in the chest. The blood shoots out and then slow-mos as it comes out. And that, "Ooh, what you say" song starts. And they go down, blood spurting. The other one sort of pulls its gun and fires back at you. So could you make a speed defense check, please?
Sure. Oh, an 18.
Nice. Yeah. He pumps wild. And yeah, you matrix it. And Namo, the unhelpful guy in front of you, cops both the bullets and just goes down in a crumple. Just blood fires out. Ooh, what you say? Right. Harriet, Namo, and Ewan, you've got the jump on this guy. What do you want to do?
Well, I guess we're killing him.
The old RPG refrain. I guess we're killing him now.
I wanted a room to stay in. That's...
I'm gonna run at him with my switchblade, but can I pick up the body of the guy and use it as a shield in case they shoot at
shield
me?
him. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you reach down, pick up the useless guy, and they're sort of mumbling, "Enjoy your stay," as you carry them towards. Yeah, so you've approached them. I'm going to say that's your turn. Like your weapon ready, holding that guy. Harriet, I'm going to make you do something in combat. What are you doing, Harriet?
Seeing distraction forces well and truly taken care of with her other teammates, Harriet is going to go call the lift. Like,
can you reach the top floor?
Yeah, make a speed. It's a jumping check for me, please.
Yeah, I can jump. I use the pistons in my leg and I just go whoop, like
roll
standing
it for me.
jump.
I'm making you roll.
Okay. All right. Oh, that's a 4, so no.
It's enough. It was only level 1.
Okay,
I was only doing it. Instead of fucking it. Yeah, you jump and hit it. Ewan, what are you going to do?
I'm going to pop a cap in this one. They're not real people, they're Vurt people. So 17.
Yeah.
People, Vurt people do. That's
17. Bang, 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 bang. You plug this guy. Yeah, drop down as well, blood spurting out. Ooh, what you say? As he goes and collapses to the floor. Namo, you see a moment like behind the scenes, and as they drop, they are 2 human gelatinous shapes. And unknown to Harriet and Ewan, as soon as they drop to the floor, they just sort of stand up and go, "Right, see you at 6," and both sort of walk out the door. But Ewan and Harriet, you see 2 bodies go down.
Yeah, Harriet's just like desperately trying to open the door, like trying to get in.
Ding!
We killed them, guys. They are most definitely dead now.
The one who you're carrying says, "Could you let me go, sir?"
Are you gonna improve your customer service?
I don't have a choice. It's just what we're told.
Well, but by who?
Well, the boss, innit? You know, it's just, look, mate, it's minimum wage.
I get it. I worked a minimum wage job once. Who's your boss? What's their name?
Karen.
Karen. Is that what you call your boss too?
Yeah.
Listen,
Look,
I'm gonna let you. Look, I'm gonna let you go.
Okay, thank you. I've only got half an hour for lunch.
But no, there's a but.
Okay.
I need your uniform so I can blend in.
Oh, yeah, all right. Okay, all right, I'll see you later. He sort of disappeared. He sort of goes, turns into a little blob, like the T-1000 out of Terminator 2, and then slithers out the door. And in front of you, like folded perfectly, a uniform appears, like, and a new item noise sounds like, yeah, like, ding. And if you want to wear it, like, there's just a, and you're suddenly in the uniform of the hotel. Yeah, like you just decide, I'm wearing this, and like
that
it's like
perfect.
You equip it. And the three of you step into the lift, the very yellow lift. It is yellow, brown carpeted, cream buttons, a very 70s lift. And it looks like it's got 70 floors on it. Which floor are you going to hit?
Top. I can't reach it. Top.
I will tap the top button.
Yeah.
If anybody asks, I'm escorting you two to your room, by the way.
You're my prisoners. Right.
What?
Door shuts. Lift goes up. It's a fast lift, but it's also really slow because all you can hear is Engelbert Humperdinck music, sort of piped in.
Because it's the lift going up and it's quite fast. Obviously, I'm unsteady on my feet. I'm like, don't know how to stand because it's like, I don't like this at all.
You lift up a little bit, just like and you fly up to the 70th floor. Bing! Door opens. In front of you is a psychedelic nightmare. Imagine a what are those rides called where you slide down them and it's like a spiral?
Helter Skelter.
Helter Skelter, thank you. It is the Helter Skelter, except you're at the bottom of the Helter Skelter and you need to get to the top. Helter Skelter by the Beatles is playing with Charles Manson on vocals, and various faces appear out the side. Basically, it's like you need to go up it, but it's almost like a hotel corridor that's curving upwards. There are faces in the walls that are singing and laughing and dancing and crying. The carpet was a beautiful load of spirals and some kind of in-spiral carpet as you climb up. Yeah, what do you want to do? It's just disconcerting at this point. Very, very disconcerting.
Would you say like the banking, the angle it goes up, would it be too hard to go up?
No. Actually, could you all take a mic damage, please, as a bit more of you flakes up into the sky? No, but it might require a few sort of mic checks to pull. It's not easy. It's climbable, but it's not like it's like when you're at the very top of a hill and you're like, oh my god, I just want to go to the cafe.
The last bit of the banking, you're like, fuck this.
Yeah, it's exactly that. So it's walkable, but it's hard. Who's going first?
I volunteer as tribute.
Yeah, Namo is such a hero. Right, as you head up, as you sort of get around the first corner, a massive tentacle comes out the wall and starts trying to like slap you down. Could you make a speed defense check for me, please, Namo?
No.
Oh no. 5.
You are smacked in the face. Could you take 3 physical damage, either from might or speed, your choice? As you are slammed against a wall with a resounding thud. Harriet and you hear this just ahead of you, and you see Namo as she just goes around a corner, a tentacle slaps her back into the wall, and doors start forming in the Vurt walls around you after that thud. What's the plan? The tentacle is still there, whipping away.
Oh.
I flash back to a previous Feather experience where, at my insistence, we did our own version of Crufts. And I go back to the obstacle course in my mind and I just go, it's born for this. And I try and jump and run and dodge and weave and stuff like that, as if it was like a Crufts obstacle course and try and get as far as headed. Not helping my friends at all, even though I'm super loyal. But I'm like, yeah. Speed check, I'll give you jumping as a relevant skill. Ewan, what are you going to do? And Namo, what are you going to do once you've recovered your wits?
I think I'm just going to run for it and follow Harriet. Yeah. Okay. And I might have the blurb fly out singing Who Let the Dogs Out Again, because I don't like this stuff that they're pouring in.
I'll use an edge on mine, speed one as well.
An effort, and the edge minuses. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's 2 E's related to the same task.
Exactly. All right, come on.
I rolled a 7.
also gonna sprint. I would like to sprint like to the side. Like I know what side the tentacle is. I would like to be on the opposite side.
Cool. Yeah. Roll it for me. So 7 for you and Harriet.
It's a 9 for Harriet.
Oh, and Namo looks excited.
19.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. So you knowing how this tentacle is going to move, you quickly sort of duck as it whips, and you're able to grab either Harriet or Ewan and bring them along with you. Which one are you going to grab?
I'm going to grab the Harriet because Harriet's in my backstory.
Harriet is in your backstory, that's true. By the collar, suddenly, Harriet, you feel... you feel the I love the police badge sort of sticking into your neck as you are yanked along. Ewan, you run, and at the last second, the tentacle sort of flops in front of you, guarding the way. So you haven't made it past the tentacle. Those two have. Behind you, the doors that were forming now start opening up, and men and women with like dog heads and technically arms come out, but they've also got like handkerchiefs on their heads, and they're wearing dressing gowns and big slippers and carrying papers like, what's going on? There's too much noise out here. Why are you making this noise? I'm paying a lot of money to be in this hotel. What are you doing? Yeah, so Ewan's on one side of the tentacle. Harriet and Namo, you're on the other side of the tentacle with your backs up to the corridor.
Okay, so I've got some spare blurb parts. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to attach some razor blades to the blurb and cut through this tentacle. Nice.
Like that a lot. Yeah, go for it. Okay.
So is that an intellect check?
Yeah, intellect.
Yeah. And I'm going to spend some effort onto it. So I'm going to put 3 points on it.
Excellent.
So I rolled an 8.
And you put effort in.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Good stuff. You equip up the you fix up the fly, and it whips across. Actually, I'd say you attach to a couple of them, and they sort of spin around the tentacles, cutting it up into like sashimi or something. And it all starts raining down, and you hear people behind going, "Oh, great breakfast! Fantastic! I've been looking forward to breakfast. I'm paying a lot of money for this." And they start swallowing the bits of tentacle meat as it rolls down the floor towards them. Okay, good stuff. You pass the first obstacle. You keep running round and round, helter-skelter-like up until you feel like you're getting to the top. In fact, as you get around the next corner, there is a rather large sign that says, "Exit. You need to go through here." But it's not that easy. So in front of you are 2 rather large cockroaches, massive things, both of them carrying carpet samples, and one of them saying, "I just woke up like this." What are you going to do? And it does take you, like, there is a beat where you're like, what? What?
Those carpets are inspiring. What do we do?
Have the cockroaches seen us?
Mm-hmm. They've seen you. They're not being aggressive. They're like just stood there. They are making a clicky noise. I've seen cockroaches make click noises. I've watched horror films. I don't know. But yeah.
I woke up as a cockroach once. It's not tough to fix.
They sort of perk up suddenly, and they're like, "Franz, is that you?"
Yes.
Well, how did you fix it?
Go to the cafeteria downstairs. Okay, you're going to mix together some balsamic vinegar, okay? A part of one of your cockroach legs. You're going to chop up 2 pounds of tomatoes, okay, with a pinch of basil, like just a pinch.
I think you're saying tomatoes and basil there, okay.
And then you're going to put in a tiny bit of hair, and you'll look like whoever's hair you put in.
Oh, persuade check, please. Within a set, because that was excellent.
That was amazing.
Let's do this. I'm gonna use points too.
Yes, absolutely, you are.
Okay. 8.
You put effort in.
I put effort. I put 1 in, so I spent 3 points.
Have you got a skill in social interaction or social interaction?
Persuasion.
Yeah, boom, done it. Nice,
Woo-hoo!
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, well, thank you very much. And they sort of scuttle past you. You're handed across a book of carpet samples. Namo.
Are any of them nice?
No, they're horrible. They're all 70s and gross. And they scuttle off down. All right, ahead of you is the door labeled, you need to go through this door. So it's glowing yellow. What's the plan?
Nelmo, can you get any insight in whether the instruction is correct or not?
Well, how would I be able to get insight as a simple shadow man? Like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I will look at the door.
Yeah, sure. To you, this looks like a very simple Vurt portal. Nothing, no tricks.
As someone who just happens to be educated on the subject but has no personal attachments to it, I think it's pretty okay based on, my education on the subject, not based on anything I see, obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah. So in a long way, you're saying that we can go through it without any concerns. Is that what you're saying?
That is what I'm saying, but I would not like to be accountable if something goes wrong.
See, this is why it's more straightforward dealing with humans.
I'm sorry, what was that? Listen, Who got us through the cockroaches here, okay? What were you going to do? Talk about the Channel 5 news or the weather with them?
But that was my backup plan.
Yeah, it wouldn't have worked, okay?
I step through the portal.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, Harriet steps through, and the two of you follow in, bickering. As you step through, you are suddenly on the roof of this building. It is not finished. It's very sort of outliney. There's a couple of people who are wearing high-vis jackets, and they sort of look at you and say, yeah, sorry, we haven't finished this bit. The feather's not meant to be out yet, which is why the door is just says to go through. So well done. You're at the top. You've completed it. You completed This Is England. All you got to do is jump, and he points, and the moon, the twisting melon moon, has a rope ladder coming off it, but it's a jump. You're going to have to jump from the top of the tower to the rope ladder. Yeah, this is it at the moment. We don't know what we're going to do. We might put a massive Tony Wilson in at the end, but we're not sure yet. But yeah, jump. That's it. Go on.
How far is it?
It's quite far. It's doable, but it's far, and it's a long way down.
Harriet looks at her a thumbless pause.
Can I tie the carpets together to try to make it like
No, these are only squares. Yeah, they're only carpet squares, unfortunately. You can make a minutely softer landing if you threw it off the side.
Only minutely.
Yeah, minutely.
Yeah. I'm going to say, don't worry, guys. I got this. Safety first, and I'm just going to throw the carpet off.
Okay, so if you land, I will tell you, you will take 1 less might damage. You're currently looking at taking 7,000 might damage.
Wow.
But you can -1, so...
Good move.
Oh, could like a mosquito grab the rope and bring it over?
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, so I'll program a blurb fly and ask it to bring the rope closer to us.
Okay, yes, you're able to. I'm not going to make you. In fact, I'll speed this one up. Just spend 2 intellect points, and I'll say that you automatically do it. It's the equivalent of taking 10, kind of thing. You can just spend effort and you do it.
Yeah.
You're able to do that. One of the blurb flies has a little hook on it, and it pulls it, so it's closer. It's not. It doesn't reach the building. You're still going to have to jump, but it's closer. So I'm going to give you an asset on it now.
Okay, Namo, you've led the way all through this.
No, listen, if I've learned anything on this journey, it's that humans are really reliable, and you got this.
Okay, then. I'm going to do it.
Going to do it.
I'll turn to the guys and say, I've got an idea what you can call this part. The other side of midnight. I'm going to make a leap, and I've rolled a 12.
You've rolled a 12.
Yeah.
Ewan pounds, jumps, boom, catches on, pulls himself up a couple of rungs. He's good. He's safe. As you get sit on it, it kind of like almost like what a climber cable's called. You know, that hold you on. You know what I mean? Those
like safety ropes, but I'm sure there's a better word for it.
That's it. Yeah, basically that appears on you, and you are locked onto the ladder. You are safe. You have escaped. Harriet, Namo, what are you going to do?
Why the fuck did I pick a dog? Right. Okay.
No, it's okay. You in my backstory. You're my best friend, Harriet. I got you. I'm gonna jump.
Yeah.
Okay, and I have a skill in jump,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to use effort.
Yeah.
So that'll go down to
2
6,
levels.
and I'll
Yeah.
roll this dice.
Okay.
17.
Yes. Namo, you race, jump, and actually at the last second, your fingers sort of go a little bit pink and a little bit tentacly, and they catch on and they pull you up nice and easy. And then they disappear back into human fingers.
Can I do one more thing now that I'm on the rope?
Depends. If it's helping Harriet, then no.
Oh, okay, I'm just gonna climb up then.
Yeah, just like Harriet sort of like the corner, like at the edge, going like looking down, and then seeing the other two, and she's like, and seeing that Ewan's a little bit higher than Namo, because one of them has to catch me. I'll back up, aiming for Ewan. I want to try and jump onto the back of Ewan, so if I fall, Namo will catch me.
Go for it. Go for it. Ooh, what you say?
Yeah, just blast out. I will spend.
Do spend your points now. GM advice: spend all your points now.
Doing it. All right, so that's jumping, spending stuff with an edge.
And Rob, can I give my XP to another player because I've not used it?
Yeah. Go on.
Yeah.
First roll. Hang on. First roll is. It's a 5. So
good. Yeah.
A 2.
Oh. So, and then you turn to grab, and then there's just a moment. Then the melon moon twists. That extra rotation. The ladder goes up, and Harriet flies down, away.
No.
You wake up. Namo and Ewan. You wake up back in the crash pad. Harriet is there. Harriet is very flat and very dead. But you two have completed This Is Singland. That was a good Friday night. Maybe you could go buy another Robo-Dog. Who knows? Shops will be open in a few hours. And that is the end of the Vurt.
Brilliant.
Amazing. That was such a great ending. Wouldn't want it any other way. Tristen, it's fine.
I think Ewan would be able to reconstruct part of Harriet. I think it's at least the head.
Yeah.
Just have a head like in the van as a bubble head.
Yeah.
Like Eric Moore, what do you think of it so far? Rubbish.
The question now is, do robots have souls?
That is a good question that we'll discover on another feather. Do androids dream of other androids?
What Am I Rolling podcast was created, recorded, and edited by me, Fiona Howat. This episode's players were Tristen, Dirk, and Fiona. This episode's special guest GM was Rob from the Realm of Fire podcast, a podcast about hot Warhammer takes from 2 grown-ass middle-aged men. Listen to the Realm of Fire podcast wherever you find podcasts. This episode's RPG was Vurt, the Tabletop Roleplaying Game, published by Raven Desk Games. You can find out more about Vurt, the RPG, and buy your own copy on the Raven Desk Games website. That's www.ravendeskgames.com. The theme music was 8-Bit March by Twin Musicon of twinmusicon.org, licensed under a Creative Commons 4.0 license. If you want to find out more about the podcast, check out the website. That's www.wairpodcast.com. Fancy getting in touch? Email the podcast at whatamirollingpodcast@gmail.com. Finally, follow the podcast on Twitter and Instagram at WAIR_podcast for latest news on upcoming episodes. And remember, adventurers need not apply.